Hi, it's Oliver from Oliver's ESL again. Well, today I wanted to talk to you about wire or wired. Now, this is wire, metal wire. You can see it's very flexible. It's made out of very thin metal. Wire can be made out of very thick metal. It can also be different kinds of wire that have coating on them, like telephone wires or something like that. But there are a lot of idioms in the English language that have the word wire in them. For example, I've had more than 2 cups of coffee today. So the coffee is a stimulant that gets me kind of nervous and gives me lots of energy, but it's not a calm kind of energy. It's a wired kind of energy. In other words, it's like I've got a lot of electricity going through my body right now, and I feel like I'm wired. Now, there's another use for the word wire, and that means how our habits work and how the synapses in our brains are connecting. So I can say that I have certain habits, and that's the way I'm wired. For example, I'm kind of old school, and if a lady and I are headed for a door at the same time, I'll open the door for the lady. A lot of people don't do that anymore. But I can say that because of my training and my habit and things like that, I'm wired to open the door for the lady. That means my brain is signaling to me that there's a connection that's saying, open the door for the lady. Then there's wires crossed. Now, that usually means that there's a miscommunication of some kind. So if I've agreed to go to a meeting somewhere and I tell my friend that I'm going to meet them next week, I will think that that's just a few days away. But for them, they might think it's 2 weeks away, the next week after this week. So that happens to me quite a bit. And so I will go to the meeting and my friend won't show up, and I'll phone and say, why aren't you here? And my friend will say, well, I thought you meant the next week. So our communication fell apart, you might say, and we got our wires crossed. That's what we mean by that. Then there's high wire act. Now that refers to, like you might have seen in a circus or a movie about a circus, where an acrobat is walking from one high point to another across a wire. And it's got to be, he's got to have extremely good balance and a lot of practice to do that. Now, if I'm in a very, very nervous, difficult situation and I feel unsafe, but I really have to focus on where I'm going, and there's a lot of risk if I don't do things right, I can say that I'm walking a high wire, or I'm doing a high wire act, kind of thing. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video. If you have, please tune in to my website, which you'll see on the bottom of your screen, oliversesl.ca. And if you like what you see there, register for your first lesson, which will be free.